Hey there guys, this is Piper here, and welcome to the next episode of 3rd Age Total War Medieval 2. So we're playing as the High Elves, and we're up to episode 15, and to be honest we're getting close to the end of this campaign. We actually defeated Isengard the previous episode. We took the main settlement right there, gaining a lot of money from the mines. So we're actually, if you look at the financial overview, gaining roughly about 4,000 extra income per turn. So we're building up our armies. We've got the 3 ballista here, and we're going to take on Moria. We actually did a siege against Moria on the last episode. Screwed it up because I thought I was defending it, and I was actually attacking it. I actually ran out of time. But we did do some damage against the army that was in Moria. You can see we've got to fight the Balrogs and some cave trolls. Check out the stats on the Balrogs. They're basically super units. Attack 38, which is devastating. Defense 56, unbelievable. But it's the hit points, hit point 7, and defense go 32. So you need to get a lot of... Recruitment cost is 3,200. You need to get a lot of attacks in. You need to get high hitting units like artillery. Ballista's really effective, their attack 55. So that Ballista's got enough damage to actually penetrate the Balrog armor and take away hit points. And we actually killed 4 in the last episode. So we're going to do the same again. We're going to attack properly, siege Moria, and hopefully take that settlement. And then it's just going to be a case of taking out a couple of other settlements. I think there might be another one down here because this is a really large orc army right there, and I think there's a couple scattered about down here as well. So we've got our diplomat right there. We do have a spy in Moria, so that's how we can tell all the units and their stats. We have a spy. It's called Baratheon. No resemblance to any of the Game of Thrones characters, Baratheon. But anyway, he's age 29 and he's got 3 subterfuge points. So we are going to attack again. I think we should be okay actually. He doesn't have too many units. We've got our sword Quendi, our bow Quendi. We've got a couple of units of ballista. The ballista are there to cause damage to the Balrogs and the cave trolls. So we've got a unit of catapults and some extra units there that are in a secondary army. And that should be enough to actually win. So we're just going to attack again. They're going to have to wait there for the next turn. We might actually give the army some more sword Quendi. Let's give him the archers. So we'll put 1 unit into Austin Edhill. We're going to give that army 2 extra sword Quendi. You can see there's actually more orcs down here as well. The main thing is to keep Isengard secure. You don't want to, or rather Imladris secure, Rivendell. And that's the other orc settlement to the north. So I think the doors are actually probably, you have the dwarves to the north, you have the Free Peoples of Eriador in the centre. Obviously I'm not playing with any cheats or anything, so I don't know how well they're doing. But considering there's a lot of dwarves around here, a lot of dwarf armies, I will imagine they're actually doing pretty well versus the orcs of the Gundabad and the orcs of the Misty Mountains to the top of the screen. So again, we're just going to try and build as many troops as we can. We've got a good income base, nice stable there. Build the crop rotation, and we're going to end the turn there. Again, I think we've built all the units we can build. We got a massive army from these settlements the previous couple of turns, so I don't imagine we'll be able to build too many units here. Okay, let's build those ones. And Mountain Fort. Okay, we'll go into Goblin Town. We should have a large army in Goblin Town as well. They're really going to defend against any orcs that come up. There is actually another way into the range. There's a path here and a path here. So what I could do is I could actually empty Goblin Town, move these troops around, and then I think that settlement is either belongs to the orcs or the Sylvan Elves. And there's 4 more Sword Quendi right there. So I think I will probably do that. I'll probably... What can we build in Goblin Town? I'm going to end that turn there. What I'll do is I'll wait for those Sword Quendi to go into Goblin Town. And we'll just put 3 of them in. I'll put them in on the next turn. And then we're going to send the whole army around to attack that settlement. Or just move it around. I had to actually withdraw that whole army because a very large orc army came up. And obviously Goblin Town, I've just taken Goblin Town. The population is probably a little bit hostile. I'll check the unit settlement details. So I've really just got to put some troops into Austin Edhill. I'll receive 500. 4 units, that's fair enough. So I'll put some troops into Goblin Town, and Goblin Town population is 12% elves. So we're going to build the Great Art Gallery, bring up the population of the elves to at least over 33%, and then we'll start making some Sword Quendi. Retrain those guys. And we're going to move out some troops. So what do we want to keep? We want to keep some troops in Goblin Town. In case they get counterattacked, we're going to keep a couple of Sword Quendi. Move the rest into the army. And they're not going to be too happy because most of the population is actually followers of Melkor. I'm assuming that is evil creatures, Mordor, Isengard, orcs, etc. I have read Lord of the Rings books, but I'm not really that good with the whole history of Middle-earth or the sub-politics. So we're going to build the art gallery. We're going to move our army around because obviously we're playing a short campaign. We need to get 25 regions. It says here long campaign. I'm just going to go for the short campaign. I'll take Moria on the next turn hopefully, or the next 2 turns. Put all these guys in there. So we've got a full army here. Plenty of Sword Quendi. Move these guys forward, and they're going to attack Moria on the next turn. It looks like Moria actually emptied some troops there. I'm sure once we start sieging they'll come back. And I think he's brought round that orc army up here. Goblin Town is surrounded by a dwarf army. Got the Axemen of Erebor and General Bifur. 5-star general. But I'm sure those guys can last out for a fairly long time. How long can they last out for? At least 5 or 6 turns. Long enough to allow me to get troops up. So I'm going to quickly go down to Isengard. Isengard is the other major settlement. And I'm just going to end the turn there, I think. So I've got about 1,500 gold coins there. I'll probably invest some of the money into the economy in the next turn. Into maybe one of the smaller settlements. I've got my capital at South Tharbad. If you ever played 3rd Age Total War, it's good to have a capital in a smaller city. I'm not going to accept that one. So I've got the capital in South Tharbad. The capital of the elves is usually in Ladris or Rivendell. But the bigger the settlement is, the more tax and corruption you have. So if you put it into a smaller settlement, you save a lot of money on tax. He's moving around to armies of orcs. And that might be to counter my army here. We're going to have to fight this first army before we get to Moria. So that's going to be 5 Balrogs and 4 Cave Trolls. So we've got the Ballista here. Those are there to kill the Balrog. We're going to fight this battle. And like I was saying at the start of this episode, actually, in the previous episode, I had this army attack Moria and I killed all the Cave Trolls, I killed all the Balrogs. But unfortunately I screwed up. I thought I was the defender and I wasted a lot of time at the start. Went up this big hill to defend. And then I realised, shit, I was actually the attacker. So I ran out of time, but we're going to kill the Balrogs here. I don't think he's going to... Well, I'm actually the attacker, so I don't think he's going to come out to attack. He might do. But the key is to set your ballistas to shoot the Balrogs. And it's really just a case of holding out as long as possible, trying to protect your artillery. Okay, make that... Okay, that's going to be group 2. Make your artillery last as long as possible and just concentrate on hitting the Balrogs. So if you watched the previous episode, you would have seen the Balrogs. Those are the Balrogs right there. Pretty mean looking creatures. And probably they're going to go for the high ground, which is the smart play to make. And it would have been good to get some shots in there with the ballista, but he's going too fast. I doubt we'll be able to get the shots in there. So we can't move up there. We're going to have to move round. And we're going to move over here. And we're going to keep it on triple speed. I don't really want to attack up that way because the hill is too steep. I'm going to go over here and attack. I think it's a little bit less steep this way. But again, we are the favourites for this battle. We're probably like 3-2. The Balrogs give him an insane advantage. But hopefully we can use the ballista and take out some of these creatures. It's got the cave trolls as well. And quite a lot of snag archers as well. So this isn't going to be a walk in the park. He might even have the range advantage over my archers. What else he's got? He's got the... So there... So how many archers does he have? The archers are the main threat to me in this battle. 1, 2. So he's got 2 archers. So what I could do is I could outshoot him in the archer war. And then he'll probably chase me. Then I'll use a ballista against the Balrog. The good thing about this battle is I have the general, which will give me extra morale. Take off fire. I'll just move up the troops. So even though he's got the 2 units of snag archers, he does have an advantage in the sense that he's actually at 3 units of snag archers. He has the advantage of the hill, and he has extra range, which means that he gets extra shots in when I have to march up. But the downside is my Boquendi are much better than the snag archers. And is he come down to attack? He looks like he's coming down to attack. So I think he was trying to get further up the hill there, and for whatever reason the CPU glitched and is running down the hill. So we're going to take full advantage. We are going to move our army over and try and take advantage of the hill. So it's kind of weird how the CPU moves around like this. So whether that's intentional or not, I'm just going to move up everything. And we're going to use the hill advantage. Unless he's actually running away. He might be running away. So I'm going to move up my army. We're going to have the hill advantage, and if we can get our archers up, if we get our artillery up before he can make it up, we should get some pretty good shots in with the artillery. So we've got our archers set to fire at will. They're going to get some good shots in with against the cave trolls. And let's look at these side-on shots there, getting some good kills on the Snaga skirmishers as well. Check out how the artillery is doing. Again, we're just going to use the archers up, use up all the arrows, and then we'll move forward our archers, our artillery. So again, Archer's done a great job taking out 3 of the cave trolls. One just went down there. One left. So the cave trolls are really powerful, but they're a bit weak to arrow if you can use them. If you can catch the sides or the rear. A lot of their defense is actually defense skill, not defense armor. So it means that in combat they're really effective, but they aren't the best versus missile. But we have to take out these bad boys now. These are the Balrogs. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it on regular speed, and we're going to get these ballista to start shooting the Balrogs. We're going to move forward a unit of artillery in case the Balrogs try and charge the ballista. And these guys are going to be toast. So the snag archers are actually broken, running up the hill. They got absolutely exhausted. And again, if we can do this battle and not lose too many troops, if we can get good kills on the ballista. The ballista are firing down. Don't think they've got too many hits, but I have to remember the Balrogs do get hit points. So it says here there's actually 5. Yeah, there's 5. It says 5 Balrogs. I can only see 4 though. Unless, one's a general possibly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1 unit at the front as well, just to hold up the Balrogs. I can sacrifice 2 units for this, to hold these guys up, and hopefully we can get some shots in against the Balrogs. Switch to flaming arrows. Put over 2 units here. I just need to defend the artillery against Balrogs. Use the hill advantage, and hopefully these guys will get some good shots in. So they're already wavering. It's kind of good. Goblin infantry. Again, there's still 4 Balrogs there. Right, he's going to send in the Balrogs. Take the archers of fire at will. Let's get these guys lined up better. We're going going to send in some more units. Actually, we'll send one in there. We'll send one up here as well. So these two units are fighting the Balrogs. And once the artillery gets lined up, start shooting the Balrogs properly. So we can see the Balrogs are so difficult to kill. In the last battle, it was the battle I was in Moria. Balrogs were stationary, which meant that they were quite easy to kill. But they're actually moving in this battle, so it's a little bit more difficult. And that should be the artillery lined up. Again, they have to push it up the hill, so it's a little bit more difficult than just a flat grass. And that's our other unit of elves coming in. So they're going to start routing, and again, hopefully some of the hit points have gone on the Balrogs. Our artillery's lined up perfectly. They'll start to fire in their ultra powerful javelins. I'll move over the archers so they can get better shots in versus the Balrogs. Not all the artillery is actually firing. Some of them aren't firing because there's elves down there, so they might actually hit their own troops. But we're going to lose some troops in this battle anyway because the Balrogs are so powerful. So they are actually firing there. Get some good shots in there. Hopefully get some hits. Let's get these guys firing as well. So again, all the artillery is now firing. And again, I just need to hold up the Balrogs until our ballista get the kills. So again, these guys are going to get their asses handed to them, no doubt about it. There's no way Sword Quendi can beat 4 Balrogs, and I'm assuming there's actually a general unit or a general somewhere amongst those guys. Because it actually registers as 5 on the unit, and I can only see 4 Balrogs. But let's just keep this going. Let's triple speed this. And that's one of the Balrogs have just died there. So they got hit by one of the ballistas. That's taken them out. Again, there's nothing really much more we can do. Let's get our archers flame them as well. Get them into loose tight formation. So that's the second Balrog down. Again, hopefully we can kill these guys, and then we'll get into Moria and take the settlement. It's the third Balrog down. 1 Balrog left, and there should be some tiny orc guy running about as well. There he is right there. Once he dies, he's going to be toast. But we've got 3 ballistas all firing against that 1 Balrog, and not long before he dies. But this is quite a good way to actually kill Balrogs. I would highly suggest using ballista. You can kill cave trolls a lot more easily. Oh, they're actually running down, so they actually killed the goblet infantry. So they actually ran down that way. But you can actually kill cave trolls using ballista. Ballista is the best, but you can actually use archers as well. Cav chargers at the rear are very good as well. So again, we've got 1 last unit of Balrogs to kill. And let's just triple speed this. And that's him just died right there. And we're going to take these guys off fire at will. Because there's only one unit left. Which is that guy there. So let's just move down all the infantry. He'll be on the verge of routing. Not going to risk the general. Keep it on triple speed, and that'll be the battle won there. So that's like a major threat taken out. The Balrogs, as I said before, really powerful. Very high stats, good attack, excellent defense. Almost impossible to kill for the regular soldier. So that's 2 full units of Balrogs taken out by the Ballista. The way is now clear for Moria. So we're going to execute. And we're going to move our troops into Moria. So there's only 4 units left in Moria. We're going to siege. Or we can actually attack straight away. Because we do have the battering. We've got the Ballista. So we're going to attack straight away. He's got 304 men. He's only got 1 Goblin Archer, which are basically better than Snag Archer. Heavy Goblin Archers, Snag Skirmishers. He's got 1 proper sort of melee unit, Goblin Infantry, and they're only 5 and 5, so they're not really. Actually, they're 9 and 13. So against my Sword Quendi, they're not going to stand too long in combat. So it's about 10 to 7, but we do have the advantage with the extra infantry. But again, we're probably much better than the actual stats because he's only got 4 units and they're mainly goblins, whereas we've got shitloads of Sword Quendi. It's not going to take long to get down the door. Guard General as well, and the archers. So we had a spy in Moria as well, so we didn't even need to use the artillery. He's going to run like hell now. And what we're going to do is we've got our whole army fairly close to the doorway. What are the archers firing at? So let's see, the archers are firing, but there's no way they can fire over that. And so all we really got to do is move forward the army, take Moria, and then that'll be the settlement captured. So like I was saying before, the battle was registered as 10 to 7 in my favour, but I think I've got a much bigger advantage because we've got like 11 units of Sword Quendi. He's only got 2 archers, 1 skirmisher, and 1 heavy goblin unit. Plus we've got the cavalry as well, so I think it's much more in our favour. Don't need the Ballista, keep the Ballista outside. Maybe he has the advantage because he's fighting in Moria, possibly. Don't actually know why, but we're going to send in everything just to attack. Not really much point holding back, let's just attack with everything. Plus, he's got the 3 units of archers, I've only got 3 archers outside. Makes more sense for us to use our melee advantage. So we're going to send in everything, clump everything together. Might be the wrong way of doing this, but it's going to make a quick victory for us, and we can concentrate on taking the last of the settlements from the Orcs and Misty Mountains. See if I can pull some of these guys through. And we're going to send in the cavalry as well. Let's get these guys routing. But again, he's on the square, so he's going to get a morale bonus. So hopefully that unit routs quite soon. They're actually on the verge of routing their wavering. So if we can, right, so that's just broken through there. And again, we're just going to get everything to come through. Let's take the settlement ASAP. Let's get a charge on this Naga skirmishers. They were actually throwing javelins into my line. So the only advantage he has is the fact that my army's very tired. And we've killed the enemy general. This is actually Moria. It's pretty cool. Some of the settlements, the custom settlements. Again, it's just a mopping up operation. He's lost 90% of his men. And just triple speed this. Let's end the battle, and so that's us capturing Moria. And if you've never seen Moria in 3rd Age, it's pretty amazing actually. So that's a win for us. There's a lot of the work that the 3rd Age modders have done. Absolutely amazing. I know they must have spent thousands of hours going over all this. So really well done to the modders. Moria is an amazing map. So that's Moria taken. Again, we're going to exterminate populace because obviously Moria, absolutely no elves at all in Moria. Yeah, no elves, it's all 100% Melkor. So the first thing, like always, we're going to build the artist studio. And we're going to repair the walls. So he actually might have some units of Balrogs left. I think they're probably all dead, to be honest. But we're going to go for this last settlement over here. And hopefully that'll be the Orcs and Misty Mountains eliminated. So let's get our diplomat. Let's make him talk to Misty Mountains. One there, one over there as well. Okay, we'll talk to the Orcs. Let's try and get some map information. Make offer. Are they going to accept this offer? Just accepted, fantastic. We're going to get our other agent. We're going to get him to talk to... Actually, we'll just send him down. I know there's going to be a settlement over here. And that will bring us up to 23 settlements if we capture that settlement. So we still got to get an extra 2 settlements to satisfy the criteria for the short campaign. So we can see the Orcs. Rather, we can see the Dwarves. This is their territory. They've done really well. They've got a Dwarven Large Town there. Worm Cove it's called. Wooden Wall. So that's a fairly good settlement to have, plus got a castle there as well. It's a dwarven fortress. And so so we've got like Orcs of the Misty Mountains. They've got 1 settlement left according to this. So that is actually owned by Orcs of the Misty Mountains. Orc capital. We've got the Free Peoples of Eriador. So the Orcs of the Gundabad must be here. They're really powerful. Yeah, so the Orcs of Gundabad. So what I'll probably do is, I've got 2 options. I'll definitely eliminate that city. Either I'll take it or the Sylvan Elves will take it. And then we can see there's Orcs of the Gundabad. I'll either take 2 settlements from the Orcs of Gundabad, or you've got Mordor. Mordor's actually here. Very, very powerful faction. Mordor always moves further up into the Mirkwood Forest. So I'll take that settlement, and I might actually help my Sylvan Elves, the allies, or my allies, in their battles versus Mordor. I might actually do that. Because the left hand side of the map, we've got Free Peoples of Eriador, the Dwarves, myself. Rohan is secured on my borders and Gondor is on Rohan's borders. So the Orcs and Misty Mountains have lost their capital. That means either the Sylvan Elves have it. Yeah. So that's weird. So it said that they lost the capital, yet they still have the capital. So that's a bit strange. But anyway, now I know that there's one army left. And we're going to send down our general. So he's an 8-star, a 7-star general. But I don't think that's enough to defeat all of that. Some cave trolls as well. So what we might do is we might actually send down... Oh shit, he's got more over here as well. So what's this? So looks like he's going for Mountain Fort. Let's build some more troops. Retrain. And let's build some more troops in Rivendell. Moria. Can't build anything in Moria just yet. But I know we're going to have to build more troops later on. Because we've still got, like I said, we've still got at least another 3 more settlements to take. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building up the economies of smaller cities. So you've got Dunerd here, that's quite a large city. Let's build the irrigation. Shit, that's costing 5,500. I can't really build anything else troop-wise. All these settlements are Talsir, Argond. Okay, let's just end that turn there. I'd rather build the units in Rivendell, where I have the armour and the blacksmith, and I could also build some more troops in Isengard. Trade rights, absolutely, and let's try and make the alliance as well. Make counter offer. Alliance, map information for map information. Just rejected. So they want alliance, trade rights, map information. Plus, they want map information back and 260 gold coins. I'll accept that. 260 coins to me is not that much anymore. So we're now allies and we're now trading partners as well. So that was a good deal for us. Hopefully we'll get extra money on the next turn. And that's just cycling through the different factions. So I left Goblin Town a bit vulnerable. Okay, accept that. Goblin Town a bit vulnerable so that I could move around an army to put a bit of pressure on the last orc settlement. But I think he actually knows that because he's actually building up a force just outside Mountain Fort. And he might actually come up to attack. But I do have a lot of friends in that area, so Minas Tirith is reached. Frickin' amazing. Let's check out this cutscene. That's an epic cutscene from the Lord of the Rings film. So basically I asked Gondor for map information, got the map information, and obviously there's a cutscene for Minas Tirith, the capital of Gondor, and that was it right there. So that's a pretty epic cutscene. We're getting another one for Minas Morgul reached. So Minas Morgul was actually in Mordor. We're going to see this cutscene again from, looks like it's from the second Lord of the Rings film. Frickin' amazing again. Love these cutscenes. You've got Saruman. Or he's actually Sauron. Or the head follower for Sauron. So that was an amazing cutscene from the Lord of the Rings films, Minas Morgul reached, and that was actually the part where Frodo and Sam were actually hiding behind the rock when the army came out from Minas Morgul. So the next cutscene, Dead Marshes reached. And this is the wasteland just outside Mordor, where the Battle of Dagorland was fought. That's from the first Lord of the Rings film, the opening sequence. The epic battle. Actually, the video title for all these episodes actually contain a picture from the Battle of Dagorland. There's some dead bodies there in the marsh. There might be more cutscenes after this. Might be another one. That's Dead Marshes Reach. That's actually just this area right there. So there's not another one, but that was pretty epic actually. Let's accept that guy. Where is he? He is in Elstadian. Fantastic. She's a bit older than what I'd usually accept for a marriage sort of noble person, but I don't really have that many now, so I want to make sure I don't actually lose the campaign through lack of generals or factionaires. So we're going to move him into, let's move him into Barrow Downs there. What have we got? Okay, let's put him into the Nerd. So we've got an extra 7,000 there. What are we getting per turn? So we're getting 5,000, roughly about 5,000 per turn extra to spend. We're going to go for, okay, the barracks for Isengard. Retrain some of those guys. And again, that's probably all the money spent. Let's build the blacksmith and Byreg. We're going to have to build more troops. Again, we'll keep our diplomat there. He's got a second army up here. And yeah, so that's what he's going to do. He's actually going to double back and go for Goblin Town. So I've got two options. I can either go back, reinforce Goblin Town, or I can go for... So is that two armies or one army? So he's got two massive armies. He's got one army in the actual settlement and one outside. I'm going to keep that army there and see if I can maybe pick a moment where the Sylvan Elves are fighting as well. And what I'll do is I'll put a watchtower right here to keep tabs on what's happening. So he's got some forces over here. So it looks like there's a Sylvan Elf settlement over here as well. And I'll need to bolster some of these settlements. So in Ladris, we need to build some more troops. Let's build... We've got the army barracks coming, so we can actually build the... Eldarinwi spearmen and swordsmen, and eventually we're able to build the Eldarinwi cavalry as well, which are fairly good cavalry. That's Grandma Wormtongue again. Ceasefire, decline that. So they're effectively bankrupt. Culture, followers of Melkor, allies, ruin, orcs the Gundabad. So we don't want to have a ceasefire. We want to try and take that settlement if we can. I'm going to keep that army in the forest because two things. One, we can see what he's doing, and secondly, we can see if he tries to... If the Sylvan Elves attack, we can possibly join in on that attack. So these are the Eldarinwi spearmen. Again, if you watch the opening sequence of Lord of the Rings, these are the guys that fight at the Battle of Dagorland. They're excellent troops. Very good on the defense, good on the attack, very good troops overall. Quite expensive though. Same for the Elderwinry swordsmen as well. So they're not as good on the defense, but they're better on the attack. And obviously ballistas. So we probably want to try and get the archers as well if we can. Again, I know there's probably a massive army right there. So what I might do is, I've got an option here to combine armies, move down, take Annan Gastal, and move that army back, because I know there's a massive army here. Don't really have enough to defend Goblin Town with it. So I'm going to move up some troops to Mountain Fort. And we've got enough men there to make a secondary army. Let's make the growth build. Okay. Are we building the... So it's what, 4% elves, let's build the art gallery. And let's move some troops up to Mountain Fort. He's going to go back into Moria. Can we build any more troops? Okay, let's put more troops into Austin Edhill. Get some troops here. We'll put 3 into Austin Edhill. We'll get the... Oh, there's only 1 turn left for that. Shit. So there's 1 turn left for the Council of Nobles mission. We're not going to get it. Let's put everything else up into Moria. He actually might attack. Moria's quite weak at the moment. But the Sylvan Elves have sent down a force of Forest Wardens. And they've actually got rid of the orcs right there. So I think we're going to do that. We're going to keep the army there. I could always like move that army back round, join up with another army and then attack. But what I'll do is I'll keep that army there as a reserve. He does know about the army, so we're going to keep him there. We're going to combine armies to the west of that last orc village. And then we're going to move down and hopefully win that battle. If we lose that battle, we've got a second army there in reserve to finish him off. So mission failed. We knew we were going to lose that mission. Didn't have enough time. I actually forgot about it. Mountain Fort has the irrigation. Sword Quendi built in Austin Edhill. It's fine. So move these armies up to Moria. Just move that army up to Moria as well. Or that unit. Straight to Moria. And let's check out the nerd. So again, there's probably a really large army around about here for the orcs. And looks like he might have actually brought that army back down, but there's a shit ton of orcs right here. There's going to be a really large battle, so there's 2 massive orc armies. And I'm going to move my spy round from Moria. If I can, let's get Moria selected. Spy. Let's move the spy over. And I'll actually move my 3 units of... Yeah, so the Blister, they're fairly weak in Moria. Even if they were defending Moria, they've not really got anything to shoot at. We've got the watchtower there, got the army there, got 4,200 to spend. Let's build some of these guys. Goblin Town is gaining more elvish population. They're down to up to 25%. And Moria is 6%, and we're building the art gallery. So let's check out the eastern or the western side. We've got a rebel brigand outside Forlond. That isn't good. So we're going to build some troops and repel or defeat that rebel force. And we're going to build the town hall as well. Because they've actually sprung up probably because of unrest in the area. Do the same here as well. Can't really afford anything else. So we're going to end that turn there. Hopefully those rebels don't attack before the next turn. Because if I can build the town hall, we can actually have a chance at maintaining some public order and defeating the Axemen. So provided they don't attack on the next turn, I'll be able to build, 2 Sword Quendi, and I'll have the cavalry as well. So that should be enough to defeat that army. Move those guys into that settlement, or that army. So they're going to be moving, not that way. That way? Yeah, so it's up there. And they're going to have... I'll put Rohadira on the mean. He's got 6 stars. He was a 10-star general at one point, but he gets all these extra bonuses versus orcs. And again, we've built the Elderwinway swordsman and the spearmen as well. So we're going to send up the spy. Let's get him in the settlement. He's gone into Baratheon. Well, that's actually the spy Baratheon. Can he get him? Pow. So it looks like our spy was successful in getting into the settlement. He's got a suit of armour there. Hopefully he's not spotted by anyone. Right, he's got in. So we're going to check out what he actually has. He's got 1 cave troll. And the goblin infantry, okay, they're crap troops, but they have 3 chevrons. And some of them have 1 silver chevron as well. He's got the heavy goblin infantry, which are really good. In that army, slightly better. And so he's basically got 3 massive armies. So we're going to need more than 1 army to defeat all that. So thankfully we've got troops in production. We've got troops coming up here. But it did say he was kind of bankrupt. Let's check out the stats. Okay, let's check out this. Okay, orcs. Orcs, the Misty Mountains. But they do have quite a lot of money actually. Oh. Okay, that's the wrong one. One faction, right. Orcs, the Misty Mountains. So they're producing no troops. They've got very little territory and they've got no money. So they've got actually 0 money. So it's probably beneficial for us not to attack straight away. He isn't producing any troops. He's got no money. He's probably actually negative on the money. So hopefully he won't actually be able to... He might actually lose troops from lack of funds. But it also means that if we attack, he won't actually be able to replenish his forces. So I'm going to need at least 2 armies here. He's got his biggest threat is actually in the forest. So we'll make a trade agreement with Mordor. We're not doing that. Mordor is the enemy. And send them into Moria. Okay, we need Rohirrim. He's going to lead this army. 2 units of Sword Quendi. So that's going to be the first army. Our second army is actually a bit smaller. It's in the forest. But as you can see, there's actually more orcs have appeared. So no wonder he's got no money at all. He's got to support all these armies. Let's get him into the settlement. Let's just... Alright, is he going to get in? He's on the horse and carriage. Shit. I don't know if he's going to get through this. Oh shit. No, don't do it. We just got through that there. So I thought he was going to go back and stab the sack, but I think he actually probably thought about it, but he didn't. So we've got through that there. We're into the settlement, and you can see the units are actually slightly better in the settlement. He's got the heavy goblin archers, he's got warg riders, and he's got the 2 generals as well. High Chieftain Luggish, he's the faction leader, and Lord Burrs the honest factionaire. You only get one wall though, so we could actually get through that in a oneer. But again, he's got so many more orcs. We're probably going to have to get more sword quendi. Can we build anything? Mountain fort, can we build anything yet? Nope. Imladis, we've got some troops here. Okay, let's just send up everything. Let's send up those troops. Horwell does have 2 units. Okay, send that guy over as well. Put him into Moria. Actually, probably better to put him into Goblin Town actually. Put him right in there. And again, we're going to have to build some more troops. Let's get the troop production in progress. Let's get all these troops built. And let's go for some troops in Isengard as well. Isengard has the... I think there's actually a blacksmith in Isengard. We're building the barracks as well. That will actually help us a lot. But again, once Mountain Fort and Goblin Town are actually above 33%, they do have the barracks and they do have the ability to produce the sword quendi. So again, he's only got 1 settlement, but the settlement is freaking defended like anything. So we don't have enough to actually take it. I mean, we've got 1 very good army, but he's got 3 very good armies, and the settlement is actually fairly well defended. So unless we get a bit of help off the Sylvan Elves, I don't think we're going to take all that easily. We need at least 2 or 3 armies. We get 1 in the forest. And again, in Ladris, what can we build? Anything. Let's build the archers. Mountain Fort should be getting close to 33%, so that's 59%. We can build things now, but the population isn't high enough to actually support those units. So you're going to have to wait about 14 turns for those things to be able to be built. What about Goblin Town? Goblin Town is 33%, so we could actually build something. Again, because we exterminated the population in the previous turn, we got to wait for the population to actually recover. But in the meantime, we've got armies moving up to Moria, we've got units getting built. I can actually build some troops in Argonne as well, let's do that. Argonne can build a few things. Land there, yes. Okay, build. Don't want to build too much. We've got a lot of troops coming from Isengard and Barik and Austin Edhill, and some of these settlements are actually quite far away as well. So we're probably just going to end the turn there. Imladris is pretty well safe. Unless the Orcs of the Gundabad turn on me, which probably won't happen, but I haven't actually had much dealings with the Orcs of the Gundabad. We've fought Isengard and the Orcs of Misty Mountains, and they were actually allied with the Orcs of Gundabad. But provided you don't actually attack the Orcs of Gundabad yourself, they kind of leave you alone, even though you do share a lot of borders. Okay, we're going to actually decline that one. And as you can see, we're actually not getting that much money per turn anymore. We're about 1,000 per turn, and that's just due to the fact we've got so many troops getting built or being built that there just isn't enough money anymore. We're still paying our bills though, we're not actually doing too badly, but again, we have to have these troops because it's better we pay the money out and successfully win the battle as opposed to keep on building troops and losing. So we've got all these extra troops. Okay, we're going to make another army here. Let's get the army right there. So we're going to have probably one very good army, one in the forest, and a couple of units moving up as well. Anything in Ladris? Again, it's just a case of preparing the armies. I've got a funny feeling that that settlement is actually a hill fort as well, so it makes it even more harder. It means that we have to go uphill first, and we can't really manipulate the AI too much because there's only one way to get in, and you can't really fire arrows over, and he'll have a shitload of arrows as well, or archers. So what I might do is I might actually move in an inferior force, let him attack me, then I can use my archers in an open battle. So we're going to move up these units. Got our other men there. Okay, that might be... Okay, let's put everything into that army right there. Imladris can build another Sword Quendi. Let's do that. Isengard will have some units here as well. Gonna move these guys around. Let's move them up this way. I don't really think Isengard is under too much of a threat, to be honest. Move up those 3 troops. Move them up to here. And then... because we're fairly safe. Isengard has got Rohan to the south. There's Rohan up here as well. And the Sylvan Elves are over here. It's really only that last army right there. And he's moved away 1 unit from that area. So he's either going to be here or over here. Again, we've got the watchtower there, and we've got the army in the forest. So it's going to be interesting to see where he is. So that's actually quite beneficial. I'd rather fight his armies one at a time. It's much preferable because if I've got one army fighting 3 massive orc armies, even if he does stupid stuff, it's very difficult to beat all those troops at once. So I'm going to move these troops down to here. We're going to put our unit there, and we're going to build a watchtower. It's a road right there. So I want to build a watchtower, but I don't have enough money. Got our other unit there as well. So what I might do is I might actually, wait for the next turn and then attack. Put those guys into that unit there, or that army. I'll move these guys down as well. We've got more troops coming up from Isengard. They're going to go into Moria. And Isengard. Can we call in Imladris Isengard? We've got troops. Okay. Some troops are just built here as well. I'll move these guys round into Moria as well. So again, we're going to end the turn there. It's going to be interesting to see what he does on the next turn. He's probably going to attack at some point because he does have 3 massive armies, fully stacked armies. He had all 3 of them around his capital, or his last surviving settlement. So he's got another 2 somewhere else at least. Unless he actually lost all of his money. Well, he actually was bankrupt. So maybe he's going to accept that one. Maybe he couldn't afford them all and the AI just took them all away. That's a possibility. Got another general right here. Let's put him into Austin Edhill. And I think it's about time we attacked. So we're going to attack... Shit, so I've been ambushed by orcs in Misty Mountains. I knew he was round about there somewhere. The attempt to surprise you failed. You will have enough time to prepare for battle. So that's probably down to the fact that he's a 10-star general. So this guy, Rohidur the Mean, he's only a 6-star general on the map. But because he's got all these retinues, he's got Isengard Shield, Isengard Armour, Orcs of the Misty Mountain Banner, Veteran Warrior, Torturer. He's got a Guard Dog as well. So because he's got the 3 retinues for Isengard and Orcs, he's killed a lot of Orcs over his time, which meant that in this battle he's gained an extra 4 stars. He's got the 3 units, or the 3 cave trolls, and the rest of these guys are actually fairly good. So we've got time to prepare for this battle. If we had to fight this army in the open and he had the advantage, it's probably the biggest advantage he'll actually have to attack us from all sides, because a lot of our strength is based around the ballista, and we do have the archers as well. He would actually have a chance at winning, but he's going to attack this one. Looks like it's an open field. We're going to put our catapults right here. Again, like before, we're going to make 2 groups. Can make the group 2. They're going to protect. It's almost like playing Napoleon Total War, keeping the artillery in the centre. Again, our right side's a bit vulnerable, so we're going to probably put the archers on the left hand side to draw some units away. And keep on fire at will. So is he going to attack me? Hopefully he attacks me. Then I can just shoot his cave trolls. So somehow he's got another unit of cave trolls. So we're going to bring over the archers, try and get some siren shots. They're not actually... Yeah, so they are cave trolls. So when I looked, the spy, it said he only had 3 cave trolls. He's actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So maybe that's like... Maybe spy inaccuracies, possibly. I don't actually know, but he didn't have this many cave trolls pre-battle. But hopefully he just waits here, gets some good shots in with the artillery. Again, I just want to... use the artillery against the cave trolls. And you can see they're getting some good siren shots there versus the cave trolls. They're taking a bit of damage. Again, we're not actually the favourites for this battle. But once we take out some of the cave trolls, we'll have the advantage with the hill. And we've got the cavalry as well. So that's the general right there. Let's move the general back. I didn't actually know the general was there. Let's move him back a little bit. Again, they're suffering a lot of damage with the archers. Some Snaga skirmishers moving out there. Again, just want to try and get the kills on the cave trolls. The cave trolls are the biggest threat, and you can see their one's actually fallen, and that's probably down to the artillery. The 3 ballista are firing the hell out of the cave trolls. And again, even if you just kill like 2 or 3 cave trolls before they actually engage, it's going to be a massive help for us. Again, just try and get the siren shots there. Again, a lot of them they're showing red on the skin. They've probably suffered at least some damage to the hit points. Move forward the unit of goblin archers. Do have the unit of cavalry, and they're going to be quite useful. Another way of killing cave trolls is if you do a charge from behind with cavalry, or any sort of charges. Does a lot of damage to cave trolls. And that's another one just gone down there. That was a shot from the ballista. Again, we're gaining it back a little bit as well. We're up to, what, 12% kills on the enemy. Look at the Warg Riders on the right hand side. So again, we just want to get as many kills as we can on the cave trolls. And use the archers against the cave trolls as well from the other side. So we've got 2 kills on the cave trolls. Again, we're getting some good kills here as well. And that's another cave troll just gone down there. So I don't mind the cave trolls targeting the archers. It keeps them away from my main battle line. Got 2 cave trolls there. And hopefully they can get the last one or the last 2 before they engage the artillery. So we'll probably try and get the kill on the general as well if we can. Okay, let's move forward the Sword Quendi. Let's move forward these guys. Let's try and get some kills against the cave trolls. So they're still at 2 strength, those cave trolls. The other ones are chasing the archers. And he lost one of them right there actually. So the Warg Riders, I'm going to chase the Warg Riders away using the Nocturnal Cavalry. And we're going to use the hill advantage on the cave trolls. So we're going to have to protect our left flank a little bit. Going to send 2 forces over to protect the left flank. And we're going to hopefully try... Okay, we're going to send the cavalry into the centre. Actually, we'll use the cavalry against the cave trolls. Let's see if we can actually win in the centre. And let's break these goblins on the right hand side. So there's a charge in there from the cavalry. And they're not going to go down from that. But we actually killed another orc or cave troll. Try it again. Pull back 2 units to the front. We need to get... Okay. So where's the... Okay, these guys are shooting the Warg Riders. So you need to try and help the centre a little bit. I'm going to pull back those Sword Quendi. Again, hopefully we can kill that last cave troll. So using the hill advantage, the battle is swinging in our favour. Let's get this last kill on the cave trolls. So we're winning on the right hand side. Just got that last cave troll to kill. Let's try and pull through the cavalry. Sometimes this actually works versus cave trolls. Just the cab running through kills the cave troll. So that's the last of the cave trolls down. Let's pull forward the general. Let's pull forward the last unit of Sword Quendi. And hopefully that's going to cause a riot on the enemy general. Or the enemy front rank as well. Kind of hard to see with all these forests. Let's pull the general out. So the general's taking a bit of damage. I'm going to pull the general back. I don't want the general to die. That's the legend that is Rohirrim. Pulling the general back, the battle's won. Pull back the sword Quendi. I think they actually ran down the hill. We're going to crush what's left of the enemy orcs on the right hand side. So hopefully this cav charge from behind kills the last of the army, or routes to the last of the army. Pull these guys over as well. And we've got some ballista left actually. There's enough here to actually siege the settlement. Get those guys to chase those guys. They're still fighting, so I think they're actually routing. They're trying to get away. No one's actually fighting to the death. I think there's like a couple here. So they're fighting to the death. But we're going to escape and give them room to actually withdraw from battle. Someone's shooting arrows at me there. So there's one unit of goblin archers left. I'm keeping the general well back because he was getting shot. I don't want this general to die because he's quite a powerful general versus orcs. We're going to send through the cavalry, try and get the route, and then hopefully that'll be the game finished, or the battle over. Let's get these guys to chase down the Snaga skirmishers. Pull these guys through. As long as they have some units chasing them, they'll get chased off the field. And hopefully so that's going to be the enemy army routing. It's just a couple of Snaga skirmishers left. Some goblin archers there. Again, once the sword Quendi get in range and start attacking, these guys are just going to rout off the field. And that's the enemy general dead. So I can't remember, yeah, so he's actually a 6-star general. That's a major advantage for our campaign. And if he was actually able to ambush my army, I think he probably would have won this battle because his army was actually stronger than mine. Continue battle. Let's stop these guys firing. Let's get Rohirrim down, get some kills on Snaga skirmishers. There's only one guy left in that unit. 4 left there. So there's 27. Okay, get these guys to take out those ones. And there should be 87 Snaga skirmishers over here in the forest. So I'm going to send down this. This is actually a bit of a trick way. If at the end of the battle in a campaign, get your general to chase down fleeing enemies and he'll get extra kills. And he'll actually accrue better stats like more chevrons, which means that in a very tight battle, you'll have more stats to defend against potential damage. So say in the future, if I had to play a really tight game and I needed the general to win the battle, like a rear charge or side charge, having him with better stats is preferable. Less chance he's going to die, and obviously being a general, very important for the campaign as well. So they're down to 29. He's actually accrued a chev already. Let's speed this up as well. See, they're down to 27. So once he's finished chasing down those ones, I'll send him over to chase down a couple over here as well. Let's get the Nocturnal Warriors, or the cavalry, to chase down the rest of the Snaga skirmishers. They're going to take out the rest of those fleeing enemy. And then there's some over here as well. 33 there. So I think if he gets a couple extra kills, he'll probably accrue another chevron. So let's get it triple. There's one unit at the back, and I think that was like one guy by himself. So hopefully he gets another, what, 20 kills. If he kills all them, hopefully he gets another chevron. And these are actually gold chevrons. You get bronze chevrons, these are gold chevrons. So it means that he's absolutely amazingly powerful. I don't think he'll get another chevron. There's only another 7 kills left, or 7 men in that unit. So unlikely he'll actually get that extra chevron, but he might get it on the next battle. And again, just mopping up the last of the retreating soldiers. So we didn't lose too many men there. It was a heroic victory there. 971 kills, only lost 200 men. Again, we weren't the favourites in that battle, but again, if it was a proper ambush, we probably would have lost that. But again, we made use of the hill, made use of the archers, took out a couple of cave trolls before they actually engaged my front ranks. So that's one of the big armies taken out. There should be another 2 in that area. I know there's probably going to be a couple in the settlement as well. Again, obviously I'm going to execute here. Can't really afford to have too many men kicking about for the enemy. So we're minus 627, but we've taken out a large proportion of the enemy, and we've lost a couple of men ourselves. So that's the last settlement for the Orcs of the Misty Mountains. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end the episode here. It's probably a good time to end actually, and on the next episode we're going to use our armies that are here to finish off the Orcs of the Misty Mountains. And then it's really only just another 2 regions to take, and then we win this short campaign. So again, hopefully you're enjoying the episode so far. Again, Third Age Total War is a great mod to download. I'd highly recommend getting this and taking part in the Lord of the Rings Total War franchise. So thank you for watching. Like always, stay tuned for more videos. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. This is Piper signing off.